Hey everybody, happy whatever day it is, wherever you're watching this, because I don't know what day it is because it's summer and it's great and it's hot. So I've been spending a lot of time inside reading. I finished these 3 books that I'm about to tell you about in like a week because it's been hot and I don't want to go anywhere and I don't want to go outside because it's hot. Anyway, so the first book I read is not YA, it's adult fiction. It is not erotica, it is just adult fiction. So I've been reading a lot of romance and I wanted something that was still kind of light and fluffy, but not YA. And so I went to the Amazon store and I was looking, and this book had some really good reviews, and everything said that it was really funny, it feels very genuine, and it's great. So I picked up When Life Gives You Lemons by Lauren Weisberger. And if I just butchered your name, I apologize. But this book is great. I love it so much. Y'all know that I don't give books 5 stars very often. If you follow me on Goodreads, almost everything is 2, 3, or 4 stars. Unless I really hate it, then it gets a 1 star, and that doesn't happen too often. But I don't often give a book 5 stars, and I gave this book 5 stars because it is awesome. It's hilarious. The women feel genuine. They feel like they could be my actual friends. Probably not, because they have a lot of money and they live in Connecticut and New York. So maybe not. But anyway, it is about 3 women. Carolina, her name's probably Carolina, but I say Carolina. So Carolina, Miriam, and Emily. So this is a Devil Wears Prada novel. If you saw the Devil Wears Prada movie, I have not read the book. I plan on it now that I know who wrote it and that I liked it. But if you saw the movie, then this is Emily, who was the assistant, the British assistant, and she's no longer working at Runway. She's like a celebrity crisis manager. Her friend Miriam is a woman who was a lawyer, and her husband's startup took off, and now she can be a stay-at-home. And then Carolina. And Carolina is a model who married a senator, and the senator has a son, but Carolina says he's her son. So it starts on New Year's Eve when Carolina gets pulled over with her son and his friends in the car and gets a DUI, but she wasn't drinking and she wasn't drunk. So what happens? So the 3 women work together to figure out what happens and how it happened and why it happened. And it, like, when I was reading it, I wanted to punch someone because I thought it was complete crap when they figure out what happened. But it was awesome to see these 3 women who are hilarious, and they work together so well to figure out what happened. It's not like a mystery or anything. I just don't want to tell you what happens because I want you to read it. I immediately, after I finished it, looked up everything that Lauren Weisberger has ever written, and it's on my hold list at Austin Public Library because I'm obsessed. Lauren Weisberger, if you watch this, I'm going to need you to write more about Miriam and Carolina and Emily because I want them to be my best friends because this book was awesome. Again, not YA, adult fiction, but fantastic. The next book I'm going to tell you about, so these 2 books are both middle grade novels, and at my school, we have the students who have to read 2 books over the summer. One of them is an assigned class novel, and the other one is a free choice book. So the first book, I read the 6th grade class novel, and it is Fish in a Tree. Now, before I tell you about it, I need you to know that when somebody tells me you have to read this book, I automatically think, no, I'm not going to read it. I'm sorry. I don't have time to read books that I don't like. I literally have an office and a house full of books of things that I have to read because Mavericks, TLA, work, lots of things that I have to read and that I do enjoy reading. But when someone gives me a recommendation and I automatically think, all right, it's not a graphic novel. It's not something that can be on the Mav list. It's not something I care to review. It's not something exciting, and it's not by an author that I already know and love, and it's not something I haven't already heard about. I don't care. And that sounds really awful, but that's how I have to do things until I have time. So which is why, like, during the summer and Christmas break, I have a little more time to read things that are recommended to me rather than things I want to and have to read. Anyway, going forward. So I've heard that this book is fantastic. Lots of teachers, lots of students, lots of other librarians have told me this book is great. You have to read it. And I'm like, oh, I don't care. But since my students are reading it, I want to read it to be able to talk about it with them when they come in. So our 6th grade book is Fish in a Tree, and Fish in a Tree is about Allie. And Allie is dyslexic, but she doesn't know that. She thinks that she's dumb because she can't read. And so Allie's teacher goes on maternity leave. And with this first teacher, she gets out of reading and writing by getting in trouble. So anytime that she's asked to do something involving reading or writing, she finds a way to act out and get out of it. then her teacher goes on maternity leave, and this new teacher, Mr. Daniels, comes in. And Mr. Daniels is getting his special ed certification, and he notices and he identifies that, Allie has dyslexia. And so he finds a way to help her and guide her and help her find new ways to learn that will make sense to her. And I really, really loved it. It was great and it was beautiful. More importantly than that, though, I love how Allie makes friends with two other people in the story who are my actual favorite characters in the book, because there are people that they get called the Island of Misfit Toys. And it's because they're just like kind of weirdos, but I loved them. I loved her friends, and I loved how they supported each other. And when Allie tells them, hey, I have dyslexia, and they're like, okay, and which I think is awesome. Like, we need to be more like that more often. So it was great. I really loved this book. I started it in the morning on the treadmill at the gym, and I finished it the night that I started it. I don't know what day that was. Can't tell you, but it was great, and I loved it. Again, it's a middle grade novel, but it's so much of an easy read, and I loved it. And I'm so sorry to everybody who's told me I should read it, but I read it, and I loved it, and it was great. Next and last book that I'm going to tell you about. So it's a little hard to go from the book that I'm about to tell you about to Fish in a Tree, because the main character in Merci Suarez Changes Gears by Meg Medina is Merci Suarez. And when I compare the two, I love Merci. I love her. I love her. I feel like she could be my primita, my cousin. Allie is very stubborn and very hard because she's so hard on herself because she thinks she's dumb. Like, she can't read, but it's because she's dyslexic. Where Merci is just stubborn and hard-headed because she's Latina. So this is a wonderful, beautiful family story about a family coming together around the grandfather who has Alzheimer's. And Merci is super close with her entire family. If you look on the cover, you can see these are called the casitas, and her whole family lives in those 3 houses, and they take care of each other, and they work with each other. They feed each other, the whole thing. And Merci is super duper close with her grandfather, Lolo, and Lolo has Alzheimer's. And so she starts to notice how things are getting weird with him and how he's been forgetful, and things just happen that aren't right. And so Merci has to kind of come to terms with the fact that there's something wrong with her grandfather. And it's really, really sad. And it's really, really hard to watch or to read. But I love the way the whole family comes together to support the grandfather. But when Merci figures it out, and when Merci is told what's going on, she feels like she's been lied to, and she starts to act out. And it's awesome. But it's really, really fun. Not fun, but it was really, really great to see how that family shifts from wanting to keep this from her to encouraging her to understand what's going on. And so I loved it. I freaking loved it. I love Merci Suarez. I love her. Go read it. That's all I can say. It was awesome, and I loved it. You need to go read it because it was great. So the 3 books, again, I told you about were Merci Suarez, which is a middle grade novel. I think everyone needs to read it. Fish in a Tree by Linda Malal Hunt. If you're an educator, you need to read this book. That's it. And if you just want something fun to read, When Life Gives You Lemons by Lauren Weisberger was absolutely fantastic. All of these books are 5-star books, and I don't do that often. Again, I don't give books 5 stars often. All of these were 5-star books, and they're fantastic, and I love them. I hope you love them too. Bye!